Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about deep copy using structured clone. So we'll go over how to store objects, how to duplicate objects using spread operator, and then I'll tell you how structured clone works and what are its usages, right? So I'm using stack blitz. You can use any compiler. Okay, so straightforward, I'll say const student, and that will be an object with name, that is my name, sorry, and age will be a number. I'll say 30, which is of course not my age, and location. So I'm using an array, and I'll say Mangalore, and here Karnataka. Single or double quote doesn't really matter. So I'll just console.log so that we can just check out whether things are fine or not, right? So I have this object with name, age, and location. Straightforward, nothing fancy. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a new object, a dummy object, a duplicate object with same content. Okay. So like any other value types we do, I'm straight away going to say const copy student, and that is equal to the student. If I can spell properly, copy student is equal to student. Okay. And I'm going to console both. So what we can see two objects, both are same. Before I console, I'm going to add a line since I copied, and I say student dot name or age. I want to change the age to my original age, which is 23. Okay. Now you can see that when I console log, even though I copied the student to copy student and copy student, I expected copy student to be a different entity. When I change student dot age, both copy student as well as student have same age. So we can see changes on both. This is not what we expected, right? So to go over this in an overview, I won't explain much in depth. Why this is happening? This is happening because of something called as reference types, right? Reference types. Now, variables, those are of a reference type. They don't store the data. They only store the reference of particular data, right? In this example, just to say in simple words, I have an object and I copied that object to copy student. Now, what happens is the references are stored. The reference of both variables are same. So this particular object is stored somewhere in the memory, and student and copy student are pointing to that object. Let's say that the student and copy student are both are pointing to the same place where the object is stored. I don't want this to happen, so that is where we had the spread operator that does a shallow copy. The syntax is I create a curly braces which resembles an object and spread the student. Now when I do see student, the next line number 8, I did student dot age is equal to 23. Only the student has changed. I think this would be a better idea to write student, and similarly it will be a good idea to write copy student, right? And I missed the comma over here. Yeah. So the copy student is still 30, only the student age has changed. So this is shallow copy where the spread operator, what happens is it creates a new copy. Now there are two different references. Okay. So objects are stored and they're still under references, but they're not pointing to the same place. They're pointing to two different places with two different objects. And student has changed as of now. I want to show something, right? I want to add India over here, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. It looks good, right? That is what it is. So student dot location, I am going to use unshift, and I'm going to say India. Simple. Now, if you see, both have location India there. See, it's India, Mangalore, and Karnataka, which is not what we expected, right? After using the spread operator, we expected that the objects are different, and when I unshift or add India, it shouldn't have been reflected in copy student, but it is there. Now, why is this happening? This is happening because the spread operator, what it does is it copies like overall. It doesn't go in depth. It doesn't copy things recursively. That's why it's called shallow copy, right? So it doesn't copy things recursively. It just copies the object. It doesn't copy things which are nested. Okay. So we have an object, inside that we have an array, so it doesn't copy that. So that is why we use structured clone. Okay, so in structured clone, what happens is the syntax is pretty straightforward. I say structured clone, and then student. Okay, so structured clone of student. Now student dot age 23, only student has 23, copy student 30. That is what we expected, and that is what was there in the spread operator too. But when I do student dot location dot unshift, when I added India to the student, that's only present inside student and not inside copy student. So what happens is this structured clone uses a structured clone algorithm that copies things which are nested, as well as it copies things recursively. So this is the use of structured clone for deep copying of objects.